Hello, second graders. For math, we are coming to an end in chapter 4. So today for math, we are going to do a chapter 4, My Math Review. And I will do some of it with you. I'll help you get started, but some of it I want you to do on your own to review and practice. And then tomorrow you will have your math test. So today, I would like you to look behind Monday's work and find your My Math Chapter 4 review, and it should look like this, and it is page 281. When you find that, would you please put your name at the top nice and neat up here, and then pause the video if you need to go get it. Now, we are reviewing Chapter 4, which is subtracting two-digit numbers. And I'm going to do this top part with you because I would like you to make sure you understand our vocabulary words for this week. I should say this chapter. Chapter 4's vocabulary words were subtract, fact family, regroup, and difference. Now, I will read number 1 and I want you to think, what would you put in this blank? A blank is a group of 3 numbers that work together. So when I have 3 numbers that work together, is that a subtract, a fact family, I think so, regroup, difference? It is a fact family. So when you have 3 numbers that are working together, they're either doing addition or they're doing subtraction, but they're working together, and that is a fact family. So number 1 is fact family. Circle it and write it on line. Number 2 says, you can blank a 10 into 10 ones. So if I have a 10 and I want to break that into 10 ones, what am I doing? One word is I'm borrowing, or another word is I'm regrouping. So regroup. So I'm just trading. I'm grouping them differently, or grouping them again in a new way. If Mrs. Murphy ever goes too fast on this My Math review page, just pause the video and go at your speed, okay? Because I know sometimes I go a little too fast because you guys aren't here, so you're not able to stop me. All right, number 3 says, when you blank, you take something away from another number. So when I have something and I take something away from it, what am I doing? Difference or subtract? I definitely think I'm subtracting because I'm taking away. So that's the key word, you take away. So you are subtracting or subtract. So the last one, number 4, has to be the answer you get when subtracting is called the difference. Remember, when we do addition, it's the sum. When you're subtracting and you want to find the answer, it is the difference. Okay, pause the video if you need to catch up on writing these in. When you are done, we're going to move on to the bottom. Now, here is that fact family we were just talking about. So remember, when we have a fact family, we have 3 numbers that are related. Remember, your brother and sister are down here and your parents are up here. So you are going to write an example of a fact family. So pick any 2 numbers, and when you add them together, you get your parents. You can pick hard numbers, you can pick simple numbers. Mrs. Murphy is going to pick some simple ones as an example. I don't want you to copy mine. I want you to come up with your own numbers. So if I pick the numbers 5 and 3. All right, now my parents have to be what I add. 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3 more is 6, 7, 8. So my parents are 8. So now I'm going to write 2 addition sentences. So I'm going to start with 5 plus 3 equals 8. I'm going to flip them around down here and put 3 plus 5 equals 8. So I'm going 5 plus 3 equals 8, and I'm going 3 plus 5 equals 8. So see how I'm going a different way around the triangle? Now I need two subtraction ones. I always start with my mom and dad. They're the biggest. They need to go first in subtracting. So I'm going to go 8, and instead of putting this equal sign here, I'm going to say 8 subtract 3 equals 5. So 8 subtract 3 equals 5. Then, instead of going this way around the triangle, I'm going to go this way. 8 subtract 5 equals 3. So 8 subtract 5 equals 3. All right, now you pick any three numbers, and you create a fact family first, and then do 2 addition and 2 subtraction. Make sure your parents up here have to start first in subtraction. That's just the rule. Pause the video if you need to. Then we're going to go on to concept checked. And Mrs. Murphy is going to just do one of these with you. Just one. And then you're going to do the rest on your own. So I am checking, do you understand how to subtract with regrouping and borrowing? So if I do number 6 and I start with 27 and I take 18 away, I can do that because 27 is bigger than 18. But now I need to subtract going down. So I'm going to start my ones column. I have 7, 5 and 7. 5 plus 2 more is 7, but I want to take 8 away. I can't do that. That is a bigger bottom. I need to go and borrow. So I'm going to go up to the 2 and borrow from the 2. So I'm going to cross and I'm going to put a B here. I'm going to cross off the 2. The 2 now becomes a 1 because I'm taking 1 over and I'm regrouping it. And I'm going to exchange it for 10 ones. So 10 plus 7 is 17. Now 17 minus 8, I can use my fingers, I can count backwards. Some of you I know have been using your rulers. If you have a ruler, use your ruler. So 17, take 8 away. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So 17 minus 8 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. So my answer, my difference is 9. Now, I want you to go and subtract all of these. Now, Mrs. Murphy is going to help you because this one you need to borrow. This one you need to borrow. This one, 8 minus 8, we know is 0, so you don't need to borrow on that one. Okay? Number 10 you need to borrow. Number 11 you need to borrow. Number 12 you need to borrow. And number 13 you need to borrow. So all of these you need to borrow. The only one you don't is not number 9 because you have 8, take 8 away. You can do that because they're the same. And when you have the top number and bottom number the same and you're subtracting, your answer is always going to be 0. Okay? Pause the video. Go work on these. When you're done, we're going to go and do number 14, 15, and 16. And I'm going to do 14 with you, and 15 and 16 you're going to do on your own. So on this section, they want you to rewrite the numbers and then subtract. So you're going to take these two numbers here and write them, instead of going horizontally, you're going to write them vertically. So my first number is always on the top. So 48 is my bigger number. That has to go on the top. And then I'm going to subtract 29. And 29 has to go down here. And make sure when you write them, you're going like horizontally like this. Don't write 48 going this way and 29 going that way. You have 4 10s, 8 1s. 2 10s, 9 1s. Now, you are going to subtract going down. 8 minus 9, bigger bottom, better borrow. So I'm going to go up here and borrow from the 4. The 4, take 1 away, becomes 3. And then I'm going to move that 10 over here so that 8 now becomes an 18. 18 minus 9, I know that because 9 plus 9 is 18. So 18 minus 9 is 9. 3 minus 2 is 1. So my difference is 19. All right, go and rewrite these next two. So I will help you rewrite them, but then I want you to subtract 26 on the top here. here. Subtract 17. So I'm going to put 17 below it. Now when I go subtract, I notice there's a bigger bottom. So make sure you go and borrow. Okay? Go borrow from that too. All right, and then the next one here, 53. Let's put 53 up here, and we're going to take away 37. Uh-oh, Mrs. Murphy noticed when I subtract going down first, 3 minus 7, bigger bottom. I need to go borrow, so go borrow from that 5. Okay, go ahead and finish 15 and 16. Pause the video. And then when you're done with 15 and 16, I'm going to do 17 with you, and then you're going to do 18 on your own. So we learned that we can subtract and we can check our answer by adding to make sure that we subtracted correctly. So on number 17, I have 73 and I'm going to take away 27. So I'm going to go and subtract the ones column. 3 minus 7, I can't do that. Bigger bottom, better borrow. So I'm going to go borrow from this 7. This 7 becomes a 6. This 3 now becomes a 13 because I take 10 and put it over there. So 13 minus 7, I can count backwards in my head. I could use my ruler. 13 takes 7 away. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I should have 13 minus 7 is 6. And I know that's right because 6 plus 7 is 13. And then if I go down here and subtract my 10s, I have 6 and I take 2 away. I should have 4. So my answer should be 46. Now, this is where I'm going to draw the arrows. And I want you to follow along over there. 46 is going to go up here. And this number goes straight across, 27. So let's add. Now we're adding, guys. So 6 plus 7, well, I know that's 13 because I said that right over here. 6 plus 7 is 13 because 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 1 more is 13. So I'm going to put a 3 there, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. Now, I'm going to look. Do these numbers match? Yes, they do. So if they match, you know that you added and subtracted correctly. Okay? Now, over on the next one, number 18, you're going to take 63 minus 36. I want to help you on 2 things. The first thing is I notice bigger bottom, better borrow. So you're going to have to go borrow from that 6. So I'll help you get started there, okay? All right, the next thing is when you subtract, your answer is going to go up here. And this number goes straight across. And hopefully your sum matches this number 63 there. Okay, so this number here should match that number. Okay, go ahead and finish it. Pause the video. When you are done, would you please turn it over to the problem solving, or the next page, which we have our problem solving problems. We're going to do these 2, but we will not do the brain builders. Okay? On the problem solving page, it says, number 19, Max has 34 marbles. He gives 19 marbles away. How many marbles does he have left? So what do I know? That's my first step in a problem solving problem, is figuring out what do I know. I know he has 34 marbles. So I'm going to write that right here, and you're going to have to write it small. I know they don't give you much room, but we're going to start with 34 marbles. He gives. So if he gives, I know I need to subtract. He gives away 19. How many marbles does Max have left? So that's my question. How many marbles does Max have left? So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to start with my ones column. 4 minus 9. I can't do that. Bigger bottom, better borrow. I'm going to borrow from the 3. Take 1 away, it becomes a 2. I'm going to move that 10 over here. So I have 4 plus 10 more would be 14. 14, take 9 away. So I'm going to count back by 9, or use your ruler. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 5. And then I have 2 in the tens column. I take 1 away, that is 1. So 15 should be my answer. Now remember, when we do problem solving, we want to think, how can we solve this? Do we need to subtract? Do we need to draw it out? Do we need to find a pattern? What do we need to do? In this case, we needed to subtract it. Or a number sentence is another way to put it. Pause the video if you need to catch up. Number 20 says there are 18 alligators around a pond. 10 alligators slide into the water to come back out. How many alligators are around the pond now? This is definitely a 2-step problem. So we're going to start with what we know. There are 18 alligators. So we're going to put 18 on the top here, and we're going to have to write small again. So 18 alligators. 10 alligators slide into the water, so they're gone. So we're taking them away. So they slide into the water. So 10 of them slide. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 10. Okay, this should be easy. 8 minus 0. Don't need to borrow because 0 is not bigger than 8. 8 take 0 away is 8. 1 take 1 away is 0. So there's only 8 left. I'm going to put 8 up here. And this is my second step. I'm going to do 0, 8. This is my first step. Now on to my second step. To come back out. So they're in the water, they come back out. So if they're coming back out, I'm going to add them back in. So I'm going to add 2 more. So 8 plus 2 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So there are 10 alligators back in the pond now. All right, second graders, pause the video if you need to catch up. I need to see this work though. Mrs. Murphy wants to see this work. This is a 2-step problem and I helped you with it, so I want to see your work. Now, you guys can cross off the brain builders. There is number 21 and 22. Cross those off. We're not going to do the brain builders. Okay? On the very back page, we are going to reflect. We're going to show the ways to subtract, and then we're going to check our work. So the first one at the top left box says, subtract from a 2-digit number. So what we're going to do on this is we're just going to subtract going down in our ones column first, and we always got to do the first step. Subtract going down. 5 minus 4. I can do that. I have 5 and I take 4 away. There's 1 left. 4 is not bigger. So 5 minus 4 is just 1. And then I'm going to subtract my tens column next. 2 minus, this would be 0. 2 minus 0 would be 2. So on the first one, it should be 21 as our difference. And that is always what you're looking for when you subtract going down. Make sure you're going down and not up. Go down. And make sure the number at the bottom is not bigger. Now, over here, we do need to subtract with regrouping. I have 32, take away 6. So I'm going to put a 0 there to hold its place. I'm going to start with my ones column. 2 minus 6. I can't do that. Bigger bottom, better borrow. So I'm going to go borrow from the 3. I have 3, I'm going to take 1 away. So I have 2 left. I'm going to move that 10 over here. So now I have 2, but I'm going to add 10 to it. So it's going to be 12. Oh, 12 minus 6, I know that. 6 plus 6 is 12. So 12 minus 6 is 6. And then 2 minus 0 would be 2. So my difference would be 26. On this one, we had to regroup because we had a bigger number on the bottom and we had to go borrow or regroup. All right, our last 2, we're almost there. Remember, our essential question is how can I subtract 2-digit numbers? Now on this one, we're going to subtract without regrouping again. So if you notice, you have 48 and you want to take 35 away. I can do that because 48 is bigger than 35. I'm going to subtract going down. 8 minus 5 in the ones column. 8, take 5 away. So if I have 8, this is easy, and I take 5 away, there's 3 left. And then I'm going to go to my tens column. I have 4, and I take 3 away. 1, 2, 3. I I should have 1 left. So 13 is my answer. And on this very last one, it is subtracting with regrouping. Now again, I have 71 and I want to take 19 away. I can do that. I'm going to start with my ones column. I have 1 and I want to take 9 away. Not possible. You can't do that. Bigger bottom, better borrow. So I'm going to go to this 7 and I'm going to take 1 away. So that's 6. And then I'm going to move that 10 over here. So I have 1 plus 10 more. That'd be 10, 11. So I have 11 and I want to take 9 away. Well, I can count backwards, but I can also think 9 plus what is 11? 9, 10, 11, so 2. So 11 minus 9 should be 2. And 6 minus 1, 6, take 1 away, it should be 5. All right. Hopefully you have all the problems done on our math review today. If you've struggled or need help, go on Zoom at 1:30 and Mrs. Murphy can help you because I want you ready for our Chapter 4 math test tomorrow.